We're live. Hello,
Oh, I'm getting
everyone.
really nervous.
I know, right?
Get nervous?
Yeah. So, in case if you live under a rock, this is Joy Tanner and John Ralston, and they play Nora and George on Life with Their Parents. They are all our collective parents. In case you guys didn't know, we all call you mom and dad.
So sweet.
Thank you so much for being here. We are very happy to have you. Happy 20th, Life with Eric. Big milestone. Um, yeah, what have you guys been up to lately? Anything you want to share to the fans about your recent lifestyles or anything like that?
Joy, what?
Oh, I was going to say, John, you go ahead. Start us off.
She's like, I'm waiting for you.
Oh, I know. Ready, rock, paper, scissors.
Okay, go. Ready?
1, 2, yeah. 1, 2, 3. No,
Can you see? He hit his hand. Cheater.
All right. Go ahead, John.
Okay.
As you can see, like the banter, like it just
Incredible.
It's like we 20
Yeah.
years has
Yeah.
not gone.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, I moved residences, so I'm back basically where I grew up, or close to where I grew up in New Brunswick in Canada. So I'm back there, and been here for about a year. So just trying to get really used to things, but just absolutely loving it. But it's a big change.
Yeah.
So I have two boys, and they're back in Toronto, and one's studying in Europe, just left last week, and my other son Callum is in Toronto. And those two kids too are actually on an episode, which we can talk
Oh
about
yeah,
later.
for sure. We'd love
Yeah,
to
if
discuss
you,
that.
if you blinked, you would miss it. Yeah, but they were there.
That's awesome.
And only because I think, Joy, did you get a new dog recently or fairly recently?
Yes, yeah. So Lola's like, you may hear her in the
Yeah.
background at some point. I adopted a Great Dane Rescue, and
Wow.
she's been with me for less than 2 months. I'm her fifth family, so she comes
Wow.
with a few kinks that we're trying to work out. She's a great girl, but she just is afraid of everything, and she's like this big.
Oh. I
Wow.
was like, what we've
Yeah,
seen,
Well,
she's so cute. She looks very cute.
I say that because, yeah, we had a dog years and years ago, but we just got a new pup. So, yeah,
what kind did you
yeah,
get?
we got,
Because I remember your old dog. I remember your dog.
yeah, Lily. So we got a
Lily.
new a dog named Ilsa, Scottish,
Mm-hmm.
named Ilsa Craig. I guess it's an island off Scotland. Anyway, it's a Portuguese water dog. So I figured,
Oh.
by the water. So, and she's loving it already, but she's only 5 months. So
Oh,
I know it's big changes.
Yeah.
it's like
I
having a
forgot.
baby all over again, Johnny. It's
I
like
forgot how hard it
changing
was.
diapers and round the clock and
Yeah, but we've got a great area here. We're obviously on the water, and it's just going to be perfect. Yeah. So that's
Awesome.
the big thing in my life. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Joy.
listen. I am doing my PhD and I am coming up to my comprehensive exams in December, so I am freaking out.
Mhm.
I have about 90 books that I have to be competent and literate
Wow.
in.
Too many.
Writing lit reviews, and then I have of that 90, 60 are specific to my topic, which is Ira Aldridge. He was the first Black actor to play Othello and the first
Oh,
actor
wow.
to perform Shakespeare in Eastern Europe.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'm freaking out about
Yeah,
that.
that's a lot of books.
Yeah, A lot yeah. of So then I a lot of become a work. candidate when I pass that, and I'm teaching up at York, and I was grading earlier today, and that's what's going on.
Speaking, I remember you, yeah, saying you were going back to school and PhD. So that's fantastic. I mean, went to school before I became an actor. I got a teaching degree, so
Remember
I
that.
taught a little bit out east. I was on I did some supply work. Basically, it was in high school, but I spent a year on a Mi'kmaq community in Cape Breton Island. First Nations community. And anyway, so went to Toronto. Remember, I used to do a bit of, sometimes I would supply teach in Toronto in high school.
Yeah.
But anyway, left that, just because of acting, got so busy. But since I come back here, I've actually had and I was so nervous. I had an interview with the school board here, my
That's
late age. Yeah, so
you're
I'm
gonna
going to
be
do that one.
amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's 3 high schools that are sort of close by, regional high schools in my area. So I'm going to go.
George, do
I know.
can you say hi?
Right.
That's amazing.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
So cool. I would be so honored to have you guys as teachers. So
For sure.
Okay, so are you guys ready to answer some Life with Derek related
Sure.
questions? Okay.
God, do you remember anything, John? I'm like,
You know, and like we're not gonna fault you if you don't. This is literally
20
20 years. This is literally 20 years. Okay, so one of the first questions we want to ask you guys is this one should be hopefully easier. Is there any storylines or like sort of episodes you wished had happened in Life with Derek that either never came to be or you just never happened, or things you think your characters should have explored or anything like that?
Johnny, you go first.
No, I was trying to think about that, and but I just felt like we did like 70 episodes.
yeah.
I felt like we covered everything.
Yeah.
But talking about dogs and stuff like that, and it just occurred to me what would have been like if we had a pet.
Yeah.
I mean, and the logistics of shooting with an animal or with a
Right.
dog, but I thought it would have been so cool to have.
Do you
Right.
remember we had an episode where there was a dog?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Really?
Yeah.
Lies
One
my brother
episode.
told me.
Oh, there was that, and there was also when Derek broke up with Sally, he took that dog in. Remember?
Oh yeah. Oh yes. You're
Derek
right.
was like hiding a dog in his
Oh,
room.
you're right.
It was a puppy of some sort.
I don't.
And,
And
but like, I mean, they were just one episode things, and then also like Derek and Casey's characters were like, we hate dogs, so that might be. They were just like, we're never putting pets in Life with Derek. Like, get over it. So I don't know if that was a thing.
True.
But...
It would, yeah, who knows? It would have been a disaster probably trying to bring a pet onto
Yeah.
that set.
production-wise.
But I-
But do you remember Michael had I remember the last season. Do you remember, was it a Yorkie that he
Yeah.
had?
Yeah.
His pet dog? I remember pet
Yes.
was, I remember in the dressing rooms there he would run back and forth.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Wow. Anyway, there was that, and it was also our backgrounds were a bit of an enigma too, weren't they, Joy? Like,
yeah.
we sort of, George was a bit of a lawyer. We didn't quite know. And it wasn't until I think the last season that there was actually a scene in his kind of law office. And we sort of got to see a little bit of that. And then what were you? You were doing, you were a specialist. Joy, you were
I was a
specialist.
decorator. I was a specialist in window coverings.
Yes.
That's right.
My
And you were
favorite
great
part.
at it.
Oh my goodness. It's funny because I'm going to take a shout out or give a shout out to Rick Roberts and Jennifer Wigmore. They're local actors who played our ex-spouses.
Oh, yes.
So I want to give a shout out to those two. It's interesting, John, you talk about like the 70 episodes and we really covered so much. I would have loved to have had some scenes I had a couple of scenes with Edwin, with Danny, but I would like to have had, and I know that Michael and I, it was the tension. We were trying to keep that tension between the Venturi McDonald's and that sort of thing. But I would have liked to have had a couple of extra scenes that showed a deepening relationship with him that was a little less, I don't want to say it wasn't crunchy, but it was always, because it's comedy, it's got to be
Right.
a little fast and spicy. But I would have liked to have had a few scenes like that where we were.
Yeah,
So I think you had some
Would have
scenes
loved
with Ashley like that.
Yeah, I did. I felt like I had a great connection with all the kids, I really did. And Jennifer and Rick playing our exes, because that was one of my favorite episodes was when Jennifer played Abby. So Abby was my ex, but it was in season 3. And we moved around a lot. Like we were in Newfoundland, then we were in then we were in Toronto
Yeah.
Yeah, different
in a
studios.
warehouse, a studio there. Then we moved to another studio for the last season, I think.
Oh.
Anyway, but yeah, so that was an episode called and I remember because my two kids were in it. So it was Adios Derek. So
Yes.
that's when Derek, because yeah, Abby was she living in Spain? Or the thing was he was gonna,
Gonna go to
because he
Spain.
had failed, like,
School.
His
Yeah.
Spanish class, yeah.
yeah, and then we were gonna send him
As a
to
punishment.
live with Abby
Yeah,
for
as a
while.
punishment, go to Spain.
Yeah, I know. I
We're
know.
terrible parents.
So we came, yeah, so they had a flashback to when Derek failed nap time and then when he failed recess.
Oh yeah.
So my two kids were like 3 at that time, maybe 3 and 6, Stuart and
Oh.
Callum. And
Yeah.
and I always thought that Callum looked like Derek because I have a photo somewhere, and because I've moved, everything's mixed up. But when we got cast, we were in Toronto, and we were in a big wardrobe bank. We were trying on stuff,
Hmm.
and I remember I had Callum as a youngster with me. He would have been like 3 or 4, and then Michael was sort of picking him up or looking after him while we were looking at
Oh.
clothes and stuff. And I have a photo of the two of them
Oh.
together. I always said, wow, they kind of look similar. So flash forward a number of years, and they needed to find two kids to play. They didn't have to speak, but they just had to be on camera.
Hmm.
And we sort of, the flashback was I was interviewing them on the couch, and I go, "You mean you failed nap time?" And they were both just to shrug their shoulders. So they had been on set. They had been on set periodically, and they loved it because there were snacks around.
Of
And so when I
course.
said, we're going to do this, you're going to come in. I think Daphne, Jeff, they met the kids, so yeah, they could pass as younger versions of Derek. And so the deal was, yeah, they just had to sat there and shrug the shoulders when I said, "What, you mean you failed, nap time?"
It's a pretty
And
sweet
so
gig.
it was okay. I brought them in and then got them some food and everything. And it was coming closer to when we had to film. And I came in, the food wasn't touched, and I knew something was. And I said, but they all of a sudden, like they were just saying, no problem. And then you could tell they were getting nervous.
Oh.
And then when you come on set and Joy, you can talk about this, like, there's a lot of people standing around you and people doing different jobs and they're
Yeah.
quite big and, everyone's got a job to do. There's lots of movement. And then we came time to film and Callum was first. He was the oldest. And so and the camera's right up against because we were real
Yeah.
close up. And so I gave them the line. We did it a few times, and Callum would, shrug her shoulders, but Stuart just froze. And so
Oh.
we were just trying to say, trying to shrug, and he tell he was really nervous. So Paul Fox was the director. Really
Hmm.
like Paul.
Paul's lovely.
I think, yeah, I'm sure he directed like a good 8, 10 episodes. But if you look closely at that episode and you watch Stuart's fingers, he's got a little dinosaur. So someone or Paul or someone, I think Paul went and got a little tiny dinosaur just to give him. And then I didn't even know if he did shrug his shoulders, but it was. But anyway, if you look closely, there's a little dinosaur that gave him to save the day.
That's adorable.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh. Yeah, we
Don't
love that
act with
episode.
kids are animals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Break all the rules.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have favorites, Joy, or did ones come to
know
mind?
what?
I mean, bits
Yeah.
and pieces come at me,
Yeah. I think for me it's the in between because for me when I shoot something I'm done. I don't necessarily watch it afterwards the way, I don't consume television in the same way. And you probably as well, John, in that because we're doing it. So for me, the experience was the filming, was the relationships with the family because we really were a family.
Yeah.
So I have these memories of like not so much episodes, but okay. So Ron Murphy, this is our first season. We are in Newfoundland. I gotta grab a Kleenex. Hang on.
No problem.
There, good Lord. So Ron Murphy was directing all of those episodes. It was Ariel Waller, Ariel, Marty, myself, and Ron sitting on one of the stairs, or the stair going up to nowhere to the second floor.
Yeah.
And Ariel's sitting like this, and she's kind of like, she's thinking about something. So I said to her, hey kiddo, like, how you doing? Everything okay? You're good? And she's like, now you have to understand, she had just come off of filming Cinderella Man with Renee Zellweger and Russell Crowe. And Ron Howard was the director.
Yeah, that's right.
So she's sitting here and she goes, I miss Ron. Such a great director. And I said, well, Ron's sitting right next to you. And she looked at him and she looked at me. Perfect timing. And she said, not that Ron. So I have these moments like with Danny running around, like everyone going, keep the cans of Coke away from Danny. Like hide the candy. And so it's like these in-between scenes that I remember. But I went through IMDb this afternoon to kind of like pull up episodes. I think Prank Wars was a fun one. Take your stepkid to work. Yeah. The Battle of the Bands. I don't know. So I always, do you remember that? So
we just watched that episode like
earlier today.
Yeah, earlier today.
So these, like, I always think of like the music episodes for a family show can kind of turn cheesy. But this was so much fun. Like I had so much fun with that episode.
Yeah. Funny about Marty, because I used to, or Ariel. That's another thing too. When I talk to people, and they say, I keep flipping names around, real names. But I used to go up to Ariel and say, "Oh, Ariel, who's your favorite father, Russell or me?" More often, she goes, "I really liked Russell."
Yeah, he was a funny kid, man.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah. It's funny, I was going through papers and stuff, and like you do a move and everything, and I had stacks of just, I guess, scrap paper that I would often reuse. I had a handful, and I realized I had kept some title pages of scripts, and I did 3 of them were just lying around. So I have this, which is what?
It's blurring.
Sorry, pull it back to you, John. Pull it back towards you.
Oh, there we go. 16 spark plugs.
16 spark plugs. I don't remember. Open mic. What's this one?
Blank.
Yes.
We're gonna watch that.
Yeah, we are.
And this is from episode 2, our season 2.
Oh yeah.
Scores.
Funny.
I don't have any of season 1s. Yeah, like because we were coming from Newfoundland, that was. I think they all got recycled, which was unfortunate.
Yeah.
So,
but it's understandable.
Yeah.
So.
But what else? What I remembered too. I remembered also food. Food was huge. Food played a huge part in our. And I remember we had decided as a group. You know how when you're watching shows and people are eating and the fork is just moving food around. We just said, we're going to eat as a family. We're really, really going to eat. So, but that was a challenge because the kids were young, and when all prop food would come out, it was always, don't let them eat the food, don't let them eat the food. Because of continuity, you had to make sure you did a scene a number of times. You had to make sure there were 3 drumsticks on the plate, but oh man, did we eat. And then because of the way filming went, we would do 2 episodes at once, right?
Yeah,
right?
and also they need to know we weren't just shooting one camera, we were shooting multiple cameras, which can complicate, like, what are you doing? Do you know which camera is on you? Are you aware there's a camera on you?
Oh my goodness, the food. And then when you're block shooting or doing 2 episodes at once, you do all the dining room scenes, you do all the kitchen scenes, then you do all the eating scenes. So I remember if we weren't getting it right, we would just have to keep eating. We just used to be so full. And
broccoli, mashed potatoes, and chicken. We had a lot of that.
That's actually really surprising. Like now that I think about it, it's like we can really tell you guys are eating. Like dinner scenes are very, like a favorite for everyone, but it's just like we can tell you guys are like really eating your food, and now I'm just thinking I'm like all these takes, and you guys are still just like stuffing your faces, but it ended up great. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I think the family, it was the dining room and the living room were really and the kitchen were really the places that the whole family were together. That was the big congregation for all of the cast.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
really
iconic scenes in those parts of the house.
Food.
Food scenes.
Shenanigans between Michael and Danny, like messing around with the food. Do you remember that? They were always.
But they get to the point where the continuity or props people would come in as soon as they said cut. They would come in and cover the food, or take it away and say, "Don't let them touch it. Don't let them touch it." Because when you're that young,
right?
You look like chicken fingers or whatever. You just ate.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
I did.
It's like free meal.
I know, free meal. I'm like, I would have a problem with too.
No, yeah, I'm proud of our eating scene. So
they were good. You know what? We were really the continuity was good. We knew when we were going to eat, like on what lines we were going to eat. We were really good because the lines came fast. So if you put too much food in your mouth, you got jammed. You were like, So we were really good at that.
Yeah.
That's true. I was curious about. Sorry, we for some reason we printed out the questions as tiny as we possibly could. And, we're blind apparently, so it was like this.
Yeah. Okay. This might be a little controversial one, but did you take anything home from set?
We're not saying steal, but
and if so, what did you take?
You don't have to. When we left Newfoundland, we had a lot of clothing. I remember I grabbed some of that, some of the clothing. But my big thing was, but I didn't take. I actually bought it. I bought Derek's guitar. The guitar he had in his room.
Yeah, nice.
I still got that. Actually, my son
God.
has that and the amplifier. So yeah,
that's cool.
I remember no one wanted to take this, and we were always able to buy clothes, and they were always like tailored to us, so they fit, and they were always half price. So this is a thing that a lot of actors do. Most of my clothes come from sets.
And nothing wrong with that.
Nothing
wrong with that. But the last season, they were selling everything, or they were getting rid of everything. So I was going to do the interview in my son's room, but then I was like, no, he won't be happy with that, because I have the stuffed fish. Do you remember the stuffed fish?
Yes.
From the laundry room.
Yes.
So that's in my son's room. I have curtains in my tea set. I had always think.
That's amazing.
So those I brought home.
Yeah, now that you say it, I remember, but yeah, getting a set of towels that, like when we were in Toronto, so I had towels from that set.
And their towels are cheap.
We had a linen closet before. Yeah.
What did you say, John?
Oh my gosh.
We had a games closet. We have a linen closet. I just remember, yeah. I don't know why. I don't know why it's coming to me. I don't have them now, but I think at one time I had towels. Of all things to get from the set.
Towels. It's practical, and you need towels.
You always need towels.
So that's fine.
No one wanted to buy Derek's chair. That made me sad.
That's interesting.
I think that ended up, because you could have auctioned that off for some dough.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure.
Dirty. Oh my God, the food and the crap. Even in the sofa. Do you remember? It was pretty gross. Everyone ate on it, and in between, like during lunch, we would find crew members sleeping on set.
You know what?
You remember that, John?
I was like, at least the furniture holds memories.
Right.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Sorry, once again, tiniest writing in the world. Do you mind kind of ask you guys about? First of all, Nora and George are absolutely hilarious. Like, you guys are two of the funniest people on the show. And sometimes it just seems like it almost, I mean, I'm sure there's probably most of it is scripted lines, but sometimes it almost seems like it's just words like flying out of your mouth. And I'm just like, have you guys like had the chance to like improv or like had any kind of creative freedom in what your characters said?
John, I've got to give you respect because John is one of the funniest people I have ever met in my life. He's got the most deadpan sense of humor and like brilliant. And I'm just gonna, and I'll let you talk in just a sec, but the writers, Daphne and Jeff, and the other writers who are around would come on set to watch what was happening, the dynamics, and they would listen for the stuff that John would say. And they incorporated that sense of humor
That's awesome.
in the writing. John, you are brilliant at the work that you do. I
Well,
need to
likewise.
acknowledge that.
Yeah, no, I mean, we had, I just think, to answer your question, no, I mean, they were great writers. So I think I only added one line, and I remember when I was taking, I think I had to take Ariel, Marty up the stairs over my shoulder,
Mm.
and I told her to say, "Unhand me, you brute." My brother used to say that, so I just whispered. I said, "Say that line, unhand me, you brute."
That's wonderful.
So I don't even know if that got into the show, but anyways, yeah. But yeah, Joy has a really good point. Is that the writers were so astute, and we had such a great chemistry that first season because we one director, 13 episodes, and we all kind of had to more or less live together in this sort of on the ski
Resort?
mountain outside of
Yeah.
Corner Brook, off season.
Mm.
So we were often chaperoning the kids ourselves too, and they had their chaperones, but we'd often do day trips and things like this. And so we just had, and it just clicked. And I just thought because we were around each other, and it was a testament to some good casting, the writers really picked up our own rhythms, and yeah, they just kind of went with it. So no, there wasn't a lot of improv. I don't remember, Joy. Were you in? I don't think I was
No,
improv.
I think that because it's comedy, like the pace is so fast, they never wanted us to mess with their lines because of the
That
rhythm.
makes sense.
I heard Biederman in the interview earlier, and I busted his chops. He said he was upset initially that the actors were not singing the lines, not and singing interpretations. He said we said them with such a sense of realism that he was like, it's not like it. He was ashamed. He was like, oh, this is going to be a failure. But I think what happened was we were able to take the material and really bring it off the page and not do, it wasn't slapstick. It wasn't like, I mean, there was slapstick. You can hear it in the music, the laugh track kind of thing that supports the, hey, this is where you're supposed to laugh. But they really they didn't want us to mess around with the lines because of the pacing. It is like music in many ways.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense. But it makes sense that they kind of incorporated you guys just like doing your day-to-day thing, and that's
Right, like
Yeah.
I think that's why it seems so natural.
personality
Yeah.
into the lines.
Yes,
Definitely felt very natural.
Yes, it did.
I know we basically did talk a little bit about whether you had a favorite episode. We kind of glossed over that
Yeah.
one. Oh, and we also kind of talked about what projects.
Yeah, I know. It was
currently-
like honestly, it's
let's go
we
to
do
the
have people in the
chat.
chat that are kind of throwing out
questions?
and comments and all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna see.
are you ready, Johnny? Are you ready for what's going to come to you?
So
I was like, hey guys, ask some really crazy questions.
Rachel says, was that real meatloaf in the ficus?
So
what?
Yes, it was real meatloaf in the
wow. Wow.
There's an episode where there was a meatloaf fight between Derek and Casey,
Yeah.
and there was meatloaf in the ficus at the end of their fight.
And apparently was real.
It was real.
That's crazy.
Good to know.
That's
Good to know.
That's
The
laundry rooms that Lord.
yes,
They're all just enjoying the stories.
they're really enjoying the stories, but.
Oh my god.
Do you have any stories, Johnny, that you remember that you want to?
Yeah, anything from set
Do
that
you remember
that you have
do you
a good
remember the
memory.
Halloween party? So I'll start the story off. So when we were in Corner Brook, we arrive in one of the nicest communities in Canada, like just a really warm community. In fact, I was I was at the health food store and this guy kept following me around. And I was like from Toronto going thinking, why is this guy following me around? It's like, who are you? And then he was like, I'm the owner. Is there anything that I can help you with? And I'm like, oh my God, I'm such an idiot. Anyway, we were there during the fall and it was Halloween. Do you remember the Halloween party
Yes.
that they
Yes.
you?
Yeah.
I'm handing the story over to you now.
Well, no, keep going. I just,
Okay. All right. Well, so the kids were there with their families, like their moms, and some of their siblings. I think Michael was the only one who was there basically on his own. Did
yeah,
he
because he would have been of age. So
age, right? He
yeah,
didn't need a
chaperone or,
chaperone.
yeah.
But it was Halloween, and we were staying in this ski resort, and the parents were like, we've got to do something for Halloween. The kids wanted to do something for Halloween. I've got photos someplace of that party where everyone got dressed up, and it was
Yeah.
really
I,
sweet.
I
Yeah.
remember lots of licorice. Yeah. Yeah.
You've been posting a lot of throwback photos, and
I,
everyone's loving
Yeah, yeah.
them.
oh,
That's great.
I've got more. I've got more of the, okay. So I only had the one photo of the toilet paper, your room that we toilet papered. But we like trash jars threw on it and the only reason we did it was because they were tearing the studio down. But we were like, I've got pictures like you, John, somewhere. I've got loads of photos, and I'm trying to pull them out. And
Yeah, that was my birthday. Yeah, in October. Yeah.
right, you were not impressed.
It's like, thanks, happy birthday to me.
Happy.
That's amazing though. We
That
love
is so
that.
fun.
Is that kind of always how it was on set? Like, were you guys kind of just always breaking with you? We heard like Jeff said like you guys when he says you guys are really family. He's like, you guys love each other, but like sometimes like some of you would be fighting, and like it was like a true family dynamic. So I can only imagine like behind the scenes it was probably very much like a family.
Yeah. Well, I think, do you want to speak to that, John?
About
The family dynamics behind.
Yeah, I mean, I like I said before, it was that first season, I think, where things really got cemented and we were so comfortable with each other that when we got back to Toronto and people got a bit dispersed, right? Because, you were in your home, your own families, but but I think that we had gotten along with each other so well that even when, people like it was hard for the younger ones, especially, Marty and, doing the hours and then being tutored and all that, doing schoolwork, and people would get tired, and then you would be doing a scene with all sorts of people, and it was just kind of tough to keep the energy up and keep people focused sometimes. But I think because we had such a great relationship, you were allowed to have sort of minor little disagreements behind the scenes, but it just got very quickly. It
Yeah, I
was
don't
just
think there's anything too like.
Oh no, it was just
No.
Right, yeah, no, he didn't say like there was like a big like blow up or anything like that.
Well,
but-
it's like-
Otherwise,
and
we
they all
wouldn't
hated each
even like be addressing this. No,
Right,
it's like
right.
it's like typical family dynamics. Like I remember Danny and Michael, like they were close enough in age, but not that Danny, and I love Danny. I took Danny to go see AC/DC. I took him to see his first concert.
Okay.
Anyway, I love Danny, but he and Michael, like they would get into, it was sibling rivalry, and he could be a real, like he got into the candy and was like freaking hyper and like don't
Oh
drink the
yeah,
kids
yeah.
shouldn't be
Remember
drinking
Newfoundland? Yeah,
coffee, right?
who was drinking those little
Who's
sweet?
Danny?
Oh, it was the
Of course it was Danny.
But you'd start the day off with this, like we had to control sugar constantly. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And then the kids would have to, they could only work for a certain, because of our union rules, they
Right.
can only work for a certain amount of time. So everything had to be scheduled around that. And then in between takes, the kids would be hustled off to their tutors. So they're also on top of working as a professional, they have to maintain like their grades they've got as they're in school. So I don't think people realize how hard like kid actors, child actors actually work because they're doing double duty. I am amazed that they were able to get out of, and I'm talking generally, to get out as unscathed as most kids are able to. So.
Anyway, hey, we're going over. Is there some?
Yeah. Are we over?
I'm so sorry. The internet went down.
Oh, the internet went down for a second. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry about that. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay, just
Who's next? Who's next?
Who do you think is next?
Yeah. Who? Let's guess.
We got Michael and Ashley coming on.
Yeah.
Michael and Ashley. Yes.
So
Michelle. Yes. Michelle and Ashley. Well, say hi to them for us, will you?
Definitely,
yes.
We will.
But it was lovely talking to you both, and also thank you to Joy as well, because of thank you for donating those scripts for us.
You're the reason all this is happening.
Yeah,
so.
To be able to raise these funds for such an amazing cause, and we keep having to raise our goal. So
people are.
Where are we right now?
We are over the goal at the moment.
So we're over 2,000 wherever we are.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing!
Yeah, we're really excited.
I have to edit it again, so we're raising it.
Yeah, we got to raise the goal again. We just keep raising it, so it just keeps going.
We're at 2160.
20. Oh my gosh. Okay, I want to take a photo. I want to take a photo of the group.
Okay,
sounds good.
And post it on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I have to say, it was so great to meet you, Emily. So Johnny, I met Emily in Buffalo to drop off the scripts, right? And so
delivered.
I've got all these scripts. Can you do something? Because you folks are the most amazing fans. You've done such an unbelievable job of keeping things float, like even just what you're doing today, but like throughout your fandom, you are amazing people. And I just want to recognize that this is heavy lifting. So when I reached out, I'm like, this was a year ago. I'm like, I got a bunch of scripts. Can you do something with them? Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So thank you. And then Michael's sweet charity that his personal charity is the Covenant House. And I thought that would be such a great, and for those who are listening, again, to reiterate, Covenant House is a place here in Toronto that helps homeless youth and people who've been in some really dire situations, some really terrible situations, and helps get them back on their feet. So it is a remarkable charity. So the fact that you were able to put everything together and to get everyone together, it's just, I give you a round of applause.
Thanks, Joy.
I'm going to take a photo.
Okay.
If I can take it. Okay, here we go. Everyone smile. Ready? Johnny, say 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
Yay! Oh wait, hang on.
Hold it.
Hey, you didn't hear me say that, did you?
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh my God, Johnny, I love you. It's so good to see you.
Yeah, love you too, Joy. It's great to see you.
All right, bye.
Good to see you guys. Thank you so much for your time. Guys. Thank you. And happy anniversary. Happy 20th anniversary to you guys.
Same to you. Thank you.
Bye. Have a good one.